These. These were in my body for over 10 years. What are they? Breast implants. I removed them in January of 2023. And I want to share with you that it is one of the best decisions I've ever made in my lifetime. So I would like to continue sharing my journey, where I am, where I was, and where I'm going with this journey. It has been a tough one, and I've shared it publicly a few times, both on social media and also just in general talking to people, in hopes that I can help other women understand how to beat the vanity game, which, believe me, I'm always going to have a part of. I think all of us women, by the way, if you hear someone say, I don't struggle with vanity, as women, we all struggle with vanity at some point or another, and to some levels, they're all different. But vanity for women is always going to be an issue. It's why we wear makeup, why we do our hair, why we wear pretty clothes. It's all a part of the vanity game. And my job is to help others understand how to not let it control us in the level that it controlled me with these toxic things in my body. These, by the way, were the third set I had. A whole nother crazy story why I had 3 sets. These were silicone inside, but FYI, all of them are silicone. The outside is silicone. So whether you have saline or silicone, you have silicone in your body. Now notice they are all intact. They were not leaking. Everything was fine. I had mammograms. I had test after test to see if I had leakage. No leakage. But my body, for the last 6 years while I had them, was just going through lots of stuff. So it just goes to show that it wasn't the inside that was hurting my body. It was the shell. Over a period of time, with the heat from our bodies, and also if we're in jacuzzis, spas, and whatever, this material right here breaks down. This is made up of 40 toxic metals. And formaldehyde, lead, and mercury are the top 3 that are in these implants, the shell alone. So over a period of time, with the breaking down, again, not the inside, the bag, will seep into our bloodstream and will cause some serious issues. So this is why I speak, because many women do not know that. Breast implants have been around for a very long time, but it has never been talked about. Until probably, I would say it really started coming out in 2020. That's when I started learning about it. In 2001, true fact, the FDA has placed a black label warning on all breast implants. Black label warning, if you don't know, that is the highest of all toxic levels. It's in cigarettes. So that alone will tell you how toxic they are. I don't care what surgeon tells you differently, what person tells you differently. These are facts. And it's something that we all should know if we have these in our bodies. Why do I keep it? Why do I keep these? Because they're great visuals. These were in my body, okay? I had a large implant, my 3rd set. They were large because I had 0 breast tissue. These, by the way, are 800 cc's. For all of you that know cc's, it's a very large implant. It's one of the largest implants that they make. I had to have this size because I had 0 breast tissue. With this, put me at a double D. Most women that have double Ds have way little implant, much smaller implants, all right? I was a different category, which is why I did them in the first place. All right, I'm gonna put these awful things aside and on with my story. So after removal, I really knew I was gonna struggle with what I was gonna have left. Because those implants did some damage to the little breast tissue that I had, it compressed that tissue and I ended up with nothing left. In fact, the left side was concaved. I knew going in I was going to struggle with this. So I did some extensive research on fat transfer, which is where my next journey is. And I'm on lots of support groups that speak about the truth about fat transfer, because many do not understand that it is, number 1, available, and number 2, how successful it is when you go to the right surgeon and doing it the right way and follow all protocols. So that is why I'm speaking up, is what are your options? If I finally have the strength to remove my implants and I know I'm not going to be able to handle what I have left, what are my options? Fat transfer. My doctor, Dr. Strawn, is an amazing surgeon. It took me a very long time to find him. He specializes, number one, in explants. He removes explants. He doesn't put them in. And number two, fat transfers. He started his career really working with women that had breast cancer. So he stages the fat transfers, meaning that he does a little bit at a time. And that's how we get some really good success with fat transfer. So today, I just wanted to thank the many women that have reached out to me recently, especially through these fat transfer support groups and also breast implant removal support groups. The one in particular is a fat transfer to the breast, it's called. And there's a woman by the name of Kay that actually started it. Kay, I want to thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to be a spokesperson on that support group. I have now been labeled, which is an honor to me, I have now been labeled top communication, what do you call that? Top contributor to that support group, meaning that my voice is being heard. And that is why it's so important, because for me, the last thing I want to do is put any woman down for anything that they do. I want to help other women, and this is why I am very publicly speaking about this, is to help with the process. Number one, just making the decision to remove those implants. It is so difficult. And believe me, when I did it, I got a lot of negative feedback, and some of them came from family and friends. It is heartbreaking to go through it, let alone just to make this decision. I understand is hard, but when you don't have the support, the cheerleading support that you need, not the support like, oh, I told you shouldn't have done that, last thing you want to hear. Very last thing, please don't do that to people and your loved ones and friends. If you, they don't want to hear that. They don't want to hear you shouldn't have done that. They want to hear, from the heart, wow, I hear your pain. How can I pray for you? How can I be there for you? So that's number one. So recently I've had a lot of women. I had one this morning, a beautiful woman that reached out to me, asking me questions, wanting to see my pictures, and I was glad to do that. I've shared my pictures before and after on these support groups publicly, privately, publicly. And that way they can see what I have done. What am I doing to hold, the fat that I put in? What protocols have I followed? What surgeons did I talk to? All these questions these women want to know. And I'm going to tell you something. I'm 59. I just turned 59. These women that are reaching out to me are in their 20s and 30s and 40s. They're just starting out their lives. So it means so much to me to be able to be there for them, because I already know how hard this game is. It's not easy. So if I can walk them through each step and not shame them and not blame them and not say you made a big mistake, but walk them through each step, they can too take control over their lives and take these toxic things out of their bodies and know that in the future, they're not going to go through what I'm telling you right now. And I can be challenged on this, but if you have breast implants in your body, it's a matter of time. There are many women that say, I've had them in my body, I don't have any issues. There are surgeons that will tell you, don't remove them if you don't have any issues. I have done so much research on this, and that is strictly not true. If you have these things in your body, they will at some point do something. And a lot of women are being misdiagnosed with things that they don't really have. Hashimoto's, Lyme disease, lupus. There's a lot of things that these implants are causing that are replicating the same symptoms, and they're being misdiagnosed and they're being treated for these things when they indeed don't have it. It's going to happen. There's no way you can have these toxins in your body without the body saying enough. It's going to happen. So I'm hoping that my voice can help others understand, how can I take control over my life? How can I take control over my health? And how can I deal with the aftermath? There are ways. I will walk you through each step. I love you all. Please reach out to me anytime. I'm here for you. I am your biggest cheerleader. I am your support.